enjoyed it. So it's the first week. Finals is happening this week, so I know a lot of you guys are stressed. I know Eric Ishizumi said something about like intellectual constipation. Don't let that happen to you. Just kind of stay de-stressed. Don't worry, it's not the end of the world. Finals. This isn't actually finals. It's midterms. Get it right. Okay, so Santa is also coming to town this week.
So Santa and an elf will be coming tomorrow. We'll also be having candy canes for anybody who wants them. Just meet in the quad. There's also 2 sophomore speeches today, so everybody try and keep your announcements short. And if you are so fried from finals, this week at the aquarium is Community Open House Week. So everybody who's a resident of Monterey County, Santa Cruz County, and San Benito County can come for free. So come to the aquarium if you want to de-stress.
One more thing. Model, you have to check your emails next week. This week, we'll have stuff for you. Yeah.
A few students have come to me asking me to organize a winter trip. So there will be a meeting today in my room 20 at lunch. About a trip to Yosemite over Martin Luther King weekend. So if you think you might have any interest in that, please come to room 20, bring your lunch today. See you there.
All right, on Friday, January the 9th, is the solo ensemble concert in the theater. Several of you have expressed interest in participating. I will be outside the door today to give you one of these forms. This is for musicians, both instrumental and vocal. We can also do monologues if you are inclined to do a monologue. I know from Ms. Reese that some of you have duet acting scenes prepared. We would be delighted to see any of those. If you're a dancer, we would like to have a dance routine. All these things can happen on Friday the 9th of January in the theater. It's a wonderful event. Pick up one of these from me as you leave today. Second, we come back on a D-Day, and many of you have asked me if you can join choir. Your inner singer is starting to knock loudly at the door of your consciousness. Of course you can join choir. Remember all those things I told you about? Well, dozens of reasons why you should join choir. And I've lost them all. Because I was made nervous by being quick. Yes, you can come in to join choir in January. Just come on Monday, or even the first couple of weeks if you can't quite make it on Monday. Very good, thank you.
First of all, thank you to everybody for last D-Day. The food that people received was greatly appreciated. I was over at Rice Plus on Sunday, and they were just like oozing with thanks for York School. I know, oozing. But they would be very happy to have regular volunteers at both of those locations, as well as there's a nice list on the bulletin board by Room 9, the service board, and that list is posted on Haiku as well if you want to do any help with alleviating hunger in our community. The 13th of December, this coming Saturday, there's a community event rebagging food that gets sent to relief organizations and schools throughout the country and the world, and looking for some more volunteers to do that with me. The second announcement I have has to do with international travel and international programs. Another one of the jobs I have here is working with international students who come here and encouraging people to go abroad. We, this year, are one of the few schools across the United States who has received $20,000 in scholarships just for our school. It needs to be used. It's for 3- and 4-week programs during this summer through a program called CIEE. There's a brochure, a big stack of brochures right here, and we'll leave them here on the altar all day, all week, and you can pick one of those up. It explains the programs. The deadline for applying for scholarships is March 1st. We'll have a meeting in January about these programs. They go to lots of different places. There's language ones, there are service and leadership ones, and there are some content studies programs. in Morocco, China, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, Mexico, Spain, China, Dominican Republic, Tanzania, Bonaire, you can learn how to scuba dive, Botswana, tracking wild animals, Spain, and Ireland. Additionally, last announcement, regarding summer scholarships for travel, there's a program called AFS. We have Leia here from France on AFS this year, and we host somebody every year. It's time to start thinking if you want to host a student, but it's also time to think if you want to travel abroad on an AFS summer program. There is about $5,000 in scholarship money available for that, and for the last 3 years in Monterey County, Central Coast, nobody has applied for a trip or used the money, so odds are good that that money might be available this year. And that's your two. Thanks.
That's exciting. On the topic of intellectual constipation, or what some people call exam stress, two messages, one about taking care of yourself and one about taking care of each other. And I'm speaking on behalf of Ms. Sherry as well, in her absence while she's on sabbatical. I just don't know that I'm going to cry, but I'll do my best. We want to make sure that you understand that for all the high expectations that we have at the school, that above all, it's paramount that you take care of yourself. So there are 5 recommendations going into the exam period. We want you to maintain a regular schedule, get enough sleep, eat healthy food, hydrate, and avoid stimulants. That's the best thing that you can do for yourself going into exams, to maintain or follow those five guidelines. But it's also important that you think about how you can take care of each other right now. So if you see a friend, or if you see someone that is also a York student that you think looks pretty stressed out or a little worried, it's not a bad idea to go over and just check in with that person and make sure that that individual knows that there are teachers, there are staff, there are deans or administrators, a whole group of people on campus that want to make sure that you know we are available, our doors are open, we want to see you, we want you to come in and talk with us if you are feeling down, feeling stressed, feeling in need of a little extra support. That's very important. And if you can't get to somebody during the day, if you need a little help at home, in Haiku, under the Dean of Students office, Ms. Sherry has posted a few resources for you. One of the new ones that she's been working on while she's been away, which is just fantastic, I looked at it over the weekend, is called the Lake Meditation, and it's a famous sort of 10-minute mindfulness activity that she's created a beautiful video for, and you can watch the video and listen to her soothing voice and walk yourself through that mindfulness activity, and that might be a nice way for you to relieve a little stress one night coming up in the next couple of weeks. Thanks.
Okay, thanks. Anybody who is interested in playing lacrosse or who is a returning player to lacrosse, I'd like to meet with you at lunch, just for a brief meeting, say room 4. Please, everybody be there. Thanks.
The amount of dirt covering his face and hands had to equal at least 2 more layers of clothing in the sweaty, humid weather. The hood of his excessively large sweatshirt prevented me from seeing his eyes, but the dark circles and wrinkles on his face gave me enough information to conclude that he hadn't slept in a while, not comfortably at least. I could only speculate whether this man was perhaps either drunk or injured as he stumbled down the street. My younger sister Grace proceeded to move behind one of the building's pillars, sit down, and hide from his view. I didn't move from where I was standing. We had just finished a tour of the New York State Capitol building and were waiting out front for our aunt to come pick us up. The man kept moving forward. There were about 15 feet between us now. His head bobbed with each heavy step he took, and the hood of his excessively large jacket billowed behind his back as a heated breeze blew through the city. The man tentatively looked up as his hood fell down. Our eyes caught each other and locked for a split second. As the man passed by, I smiled at his face that was now in sight. The look I gained in return is one that I'll never forget. That small smile I gave him as he walked by made his face light up like one I have never seen before. It was as bright and white as the sun. I have no idea how his day was going, whether it was awful or spectacular, but I know for at least a moment I had lifted his mood. I watched him as he continued on his way. He stood taller and walked with a stronger gait. I'll bet many other people have judged this man, knowing nothing about him, just by his appearance. I try not to infer things about people at first glance. I know what it's like to have someone judge you before he or she gives you a chance to prove who you really are. Numerous people have said that once they talked to me, I was completely different from who they thought I would be. I try to get to know people before I form opinions about them. As always, my opinion can alter over time as people can change. I once visited this small town's library, and every single book was covered with black duct tape. I wasn't able to see anything other than the title written on an attached sticky note. If I wanted to know what a book was about, I had to read it. I try to look at people in a similar way. In order to form an accurate opinion about someone, I have to look at what's on the inside. The outside is just a front.
Smiling is one of the only universal signs of happiness. When you beam, not only can everyone tell that you're happy, but it also relieves stress. With all the benefits of expressing your joy, everyone should smile at least once in a while. That's why I try my best every day to try to turn someone's frown upside down. When I try to do something nice for my parents when I get home, though, they just say, "Oh, what do you want this time, a car?" In 7th grade, I had a best friend. We were inseparable, and we knew each other like we had already spent a lifetime together. One day, she came to school seeming deflated and somber. Worriedly, I asked her what was wrong, but she didn't want to talk about it. I didn't know what to do, and a feeling of helplessness overtook me. I felt a little shaken because a situation like this was completely foreign to me, and it was like I was out in the middle of a blizzard. I was completely blinded. After she didn't want to talk to me about it, I decided that my actions would speak louder than my words. The next day, I didn't try prying about her mysterious problem. I just told her a joke. What do you call an alligator in a vest? An investigator. She just kind of looked at me strangely as I smirked, and so I told her another one. This time she did crack, and she softly chuckled. I felt like I had accomplished something. The next day, I tried a different tactic. I knew she liked gummy bears, and so I got a bag and we played the ultimate cheer-up game. Chubby Bunny. By 12 gummy bears, she couldn't go anymore because she was too busy laughing at my face. I knew she still felt sad inside, and it made me feel sorrowful to know that she was going through this hard time alone. I wanted her to know that I'd be there to listen. So the next morning, I wrote her a note and slipped it into her binder. She came up to me at lunch, a happily glowing expression on her face. She thanked me for not abandoning her, and went on to explain that her parents were going to divorce. After she finished reading my note, her face cracked into a wide grin, and she thanked me for making her smile. Even today, she brings up that time and thanks me for cheering her up. But not all the smiles I get are just from my friends. Holding a door open for someone or saying please and thank you are surprisingly enough to brighten someone's day. It's human nature to worry about your own feelings first, but this sometimes leads to shutting someone else's out. While there are a couple ways you can ruin someone's day, why not just pick from the thousands of ways to make someone smile?
Sort of a mini spirit week that doesn't count for class points,
But tomorrow is Ugly Sweater Day, and Wednesday is Dress Like a Teacher Day.
Also, just a PSA that it is totally socially acceptable to wear PJs during finals. Again, this is just for fun to help relieve said constipation.
So, girls soccer has a preseason game today at 3:30 on the upper field.
You should all come watch. It's against Seaside. And could all the girls on the team please meet us at the flagpole after break really quick?
Another thing, sorry Key Club, we didn't have a meeting recently, but please check your emails because I'm sending out emails about upcoming service opportunities, and if you haven't been receiving my emails, then come talk to me.
Okay, 3 things I'm going to try to make it short. Please do your work jobs, especially outdoor garbage cans, especially every Friday. Those need to be taken out 3 times a week. Number 2, to those of you in yearbook staff who weren't able to make it to the meeting this morning, Eunice and I wanted to let you know that if you need to get anything done before final starts, the downstairs Mac Lab will be open and available to us every day until Wednesday. And number 3, seniors, please start thinking about what you want on your senior pages, and please take winter break to start working on them. Thank you.
Okay, so 8th graders are doing the Lost and Found again, so get your stuff.
So on the lines of finals, if you're really stressed out, you can get to Puppy Love this Thursday and Monday during lunch.
Yeah, the therapy dogs are coming.
Yeah, they'll be in the quad. They'll be in the quad from 12 to 1 from the period between the morning and afternoon finals. So please come.
Students of the York Classical Honor Society, we will sadly enough not be meeting today, but for those of you who have not yet signed on to the duodecim tabula, you better do it today or I will start annoying you tomorrow and I will not stop. So, do it today, we will not be meeting. So sad, I hope you're mourning as much as I am. One more announcement. Executive Student Council, we're going to be having a meeting today. Now you can go to class.